Hello everyone, and welcome to part 1 of Let's Play Desert Strike. Return to the Gulf. I'm doing an English language playthrough. I thought it was really funny how the missile seems to just jump behind you when it shoots, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But anyway, yeah, this is a pretty cool game. It's kind of a sandbox game. There's a bit of strategic thinking other than just gunning out, but there's also a lot of fun blowing of stuff up. In a way, it's kind of like Grand Theft Auto, except you don't get to kill any hookers. You're just killing enemies in this unnamed Gulf nation. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started here. I can choose my co-pilot. There's a few different people you can choose. The best one is MIA. So you're going to have to try to find Carlos Valdez there, the Jake. But for now, we're going to go with Lieutenant Chris Tin-Marie, who is good at everything but not great at anything. And we're going to go ahead and start out. Alright, so listen up, pilots. You're about to begin a campaign to save the world from a psycho madman. Unless you stop this madman, he will start World War III or even worse. I can't imagine what's worse than World War III. We have a lot of intelligence agents in this sector, so I gotta save him. He's got the nuke plan to the bad guy. Here's the 4 missions. Destroy radar sites, blow up power plant, bomb the airfields, hit the command centers. If you want to survive, I suggest you complete the missions in order. And that is absolutely true. World is watching and counting on you. Good luck. So yeah, and it makes perfect sense, because if you don't destroy those radar sites, the missiles will be able to hit you from further range. I mean, this game does make a lot of sense, and it is fairly realistic in a lot of ways. So here's the 2 radar sites. This is our map screen. It shows us all our different things we have to do, and it also goes ahead and shows us where the bad guys are, Rapiers, which Rapier is a kind of surface-to-air missile. Those are probably our most deadly threats. AAA, which AAA is anti-aircraft artillery. They got a high rate of fire. They don't do as much damage, but they're still tricky. There's our MIAs, missing in action. If we can save those guys and bring them back to the LZ, the landing zone, we'll get some of our armor repaired, so it's good to save those guys. We can only carry 6 things, though, at any one time. And then fuel drums, ammo crates, things like that. And there's the LZ. They're all kind of scattered throughout the place. So we got to use some strategic planning here. Like, we got to hit some, but we got to make sure we got enough fuel. Fuel's a real pain in the rear end. If you run out of fuel, you crash and die. And the game, like during the normal screen, like you see it right here. This is the regular play mode. You don't get to see that. Okay, so there's one of our MIAs. Was in a little firefight there. He could have just ran back across the dunes, I would imagine, but he didn't want to for whatever reason. There's a AAA piece. Took him out with a couple of Hydras. Hydras is the second most powerful weapon, and they have a high rate of fire, and you get about 38 of them per loadout. And they're very good for taking out bad guys, or taking out stronger things, but you don't want to use a Hellfire on. We have Hellfire missiles. They're just called missiles. I think that was probably Nintendo's censorship policy. You see, I'm just hitting target's opportunity here for whatever reason. You get more points, and then more points equals maybe you get extra guys, which you get 3 lives to start with, which is adequate. You don't want to waste them, though. Especially this first mission is pretty easy, but if you get careless, you can run out of fuel or you can get killed. You know, you're not paying attention, so you need to watch it. You need to maybe make frequent stops back at the LZ there, because you can refill your life that way, and you're going to need to if you're not careful. Okay, so there's one of the good guys. Good guys wearing desert camo, the bad guys are wearing solid green. Sometimes the good guys, if they're POWs, are wearing like their underwear, as you see right there. I don't know if that's supposed to be his underwear, or if he's like, I don't know if he's wearing a desert flight suit and then he's got his underwear on the outside, a la Superman. I don't think so. I don't think that's a usual military combination. Okay, so there's our target. And, of course, he's guarded by a AAA, which kind of got the drop on us there, which that was no good. I'm just gunning it because I don't want to waste my missiles. The missiles are very powerful. They have a slow rate of fire, but they're about the only thing you're going to want to use against Rapiers. Okay, so mission number 1 is finished. Fuel drum. Alright, let's go ahead and get some fuel because we're getting a little low. Our armor is good, but our load is getting full. So maybe, yeah, I'm just going to go back to the LZ to kind of lighten my load here. Why not? So the LZ is just right here. I don't know. Yeah, like I said, this requires you to be pretty good at planning your stuff out. you know, as to like when you're gonna run out of fuel and all that fun stuff. So there it is, and that LZ looks pretty cool. I don't know. Maybe I'm just patriotic. But you got the dude there standing with the gun. You got the flag, you know, waving. You got the like the little LCAV right there, the landing. Is that an LCAV? I don't know. I don't know a lot about the Marine Corps, but these are definitely Marines because they're right next to a landing vehicle. Okay, so we're gonna try to risk it and go get that fuel drum that's directly right there, directly straight on. This game's got kind of an isometric view. Pretty cool, I think. You know, you got to give it to those dudes who freaking got AKs and are shooting at you, even though you're a freaking Apache attack helicopter. It takes a lot of cojones, I think. Let's hope this is the one with the fuel barrel. Is it? No, that's the one with the jerk with the SA-7. So yeah, there are troopers, enemy troopers, who are not only armed with like an AK, they got freaking like a man-pads, a man-portable. Defense deal there. Okay, so now we're going to go hit the power station, which very conveniently has, I say very conveniently, but luckily it has a fuel drum right next to, oh shit, there's a Rapier. Now this is the dangerous one here. We don't want to be messing with them too much. Okay, or at least if we do, we want to get the drop on them. If we get that first shot off on the Rapier, like that, we're in good shape. Yeah, if we get up here enough. And I think that's a bad guy we just captured, which is pretty cool. Yeah, if we do it right here, we can make that moron shoot on his own thing there. Yeah, which we did. Alright, there's an armor repair kit right there. And here's a couple of MIAs. Not that crappy rapper, but missing in action dudes. And we got him. Now, interesting thing about this game was it was designed to be, when it first was thought of, it was going to be called Beirut Breakout, okay, which was going to be about the Lebanese Civil War. Now, later on, it was retooled to be, you know, pseudo about Iraq. And let me go ahead and get that, since I got kind of hit by that mobile AAA. About a country that's kind of like Iraq, because you got a guy who's like a I would say like a pan-Arab nationalist strongman going here, but somehow he got access to nukes, which is, you know, that's no good. But he's more like a Saddam Hussein or a Nasser than he is like Osama bin Laden. Especially it kind of reflects the times too, because oh shit, boom. All right, kind of reflects the times too, because in the early '90s, you know. I mean, of course, we were more interested in this Saddam Hussein kind of strongman than we were in any kind of, you know, Islamic terrorism or Islamic extremism, because, you know, that those things had not. I mean, there have been terrorist attacks, but a lot of them had either come from guys like Gaddafi, who are kind of nationalist type movements, but not religiously inspired exactly, or at least only cynically religious. Like Saddam Hussein was religious, but, you know, only if he thought he could exploit it. He wasn't. I mean, he drank a lot of booze. All right, let's just say that. So anyway, but the thing is, yeah, the game was considered a little controversial, which I read there were reports of like Gulf War veterans burning this game, which I don't really buy, because game's pretty. I mean, it's pretty cool and pretty accurate, and I don't think it really insults like oh crap. Yeah, that mobile AAA, you don't want to, well, I mean, you want to mess with it, but you don't want to mess with it when it gets a drop on you. Like, I just saw a guy rolling in, and he was going to cause bad times for me. There's no doubt about it. Alright, I'm getting a little low on fuel. We're going to need to get a fuel drum here. And hopefully that's what we got there. Now, the fun thing is, you can actually destroy the fuel drum, which is no good. You don't want to do that. Okay, so we're a little low on armor, and we got a load of 4, so we're going to go back to the LZ. I do have a couple of other things I have to blow up at this place, but I really don't want to risk getting blown up. Well, maybe this is it. Hopefully that's it. Yeah, alright, we got it. So let's go back to the LZ, get armor repair, because almost a full load of MIAs here, and you can only hold 6. So you know. And even though I know it's just a game, but it does kind of seem like, oh man, I can't pick up that poor guy because because I have too many. I mean, that's rough. Like, sorry, brah, you totally got to stay in the middle of frickin' this pseudo-Iraqi country. Now, the plot line of this is that what I was gonna say is like the game was considered controversial for that reason, or maybe like it was trying to profit off the memory of the Gulf War for us. Which maybe that's true, maybe it isn't. But I couldn't and maybe not for America because Americans don't really know a lot, and it's kind of sad. I don't like to say it, I don't like to admit it, but Americans really don't know crap about the rest of the world and don't really follow like other world news trends. Maybe it's the Atlantic Ocean's fault. Maybe I don't know what really the cause of it is. But a game called Beirut Breakout about the Lebanese Civil War, I think would have been a lot more controversial depending on if you were taking a side in it or not, because the Lebanese Civil War was a pretty nasty affair between two sides that were both pretty bad. I mean, let's say you took the Shia side in the whole thing, then you're going for Hezbollah and you're going for Iran, which I don't think a lot of Americans would be able to palate frickin' fighting for Iran. I think most likely the game would have put you supporting the Christians, the Maronites. But the Maronites, had done some pretty nasty stuff too, to include that massacre. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a massacre that kind of Israel gets the blame for because a lot of people say, oh, well, Israel knew about it and set up for it, provided security so they could have pulled off. So, I mean, there's really a lot of nasty stuff that went on with that war, and it would be tough because most video games, video games, especially this era, we're very black and white. I mean, nobody wants to play a shade of gray helicopter pilot. You're going in here to stop a madman who wants to freaking nuke the world, or at least wants to hold the world hostage. Most people can get behind that pretty well. Okay, but it would be a lot harder to make a game like I was talking about there. Mission 3 completed. There's freaking... Now, I want to try to make sure I don't freaking... Holy crap. Did I get him? Okay, I got low armor. That's bad because I got really no way to refuel it because I don't see any of my eyes there, and we got Johnny SA7 there. Okay, well at least I'll get my fuel there. Okay, so we're on low armor, so we got to find some MIAs. Unfortunately, we didn't find any on Ingress there, so we're gonna have to see if we can get some. And a lot of the MIAs are hidden, and so there's a chance we could just run across them, which that would be nice. All right, we're gonna go ahead and refill our weaponry here. Really could use an armor repair kit, but I'm not seeing it. And one of the good things, there's a lot of times goodies in these K-span type buildings, but there's an SA7 dude, right there, not something we're going to want to deal with. And there's a AAA that's taking some pot shots at us. Luckily we did a little evasive maneuvering. But anyway, as I was saying, it's a real hard sell, I mean, if we're going to make it about that. So I would say this is probably the more palatable of the games, especially because most Americans were actually very happy and very supportive of the war effort against Iraq in the first Gulf War. That was largely seen as a very resounding victory for the United States that enjoyed very widespread support from the civilian population. I remember when I was a child, when the war broke out, you couldn't go anywhere without seeing yellow ribbons tied around pretty much everything, signifying, a desire for our boys to come home safe. I remember my dad had a sweatshirt. A lot of people had this sweatshirt that said, "We support our troops in the Persian Gulf," which is, of course, that was the kind of support that you didn't really see in Vietnam, especially not during the ending stages. Although I think the negative reaction to Vietnam was not as bad as maybe we all remember it because of movies or whatever. but certainly there was not great widespread support for the war effort there, as there would be for the Operation Desert Storm. Operation Desert Storm was a very, I guess you could say, a popular war, although not a declared war. Because, we don't really declare war. But it was a very popular use of troops, and we won big and we came home. Oh, there we go. And there's a down pilot right there next to his F-15. You can tell because it's got twin vertical stabilizers. We're going to blow that up. Technology of the F-15. Don't want that falling into enemy hands. In case you're not aware, the F-15 has never lost an air-to-air engagement. Never. So there you go. A lot of those wins have been Israeli wins, since they have a lot more fights. Of course, I don't know if that's a real test of the aircraft, because a lot of the air forces they've went up against, like Syria, are not particularly great flyers, not great airmen, and not flying top-of-the-line equipment. But certainly, got a lot more victories than defeats. All right, so good deal. So got a few of these MIAs home. Well, 2 of them. All right, but I think it give you 100 per crack there. All right. Okay, so now we got to get those command centers. I've been just trying not to die is pretty much what I was doing there. I'm sure you guys can figure it out. Now, this is a pretty dangerous mission because we got to go all the way across the map. So we got to worry about fuel concerns. And another thing we got to worry about is just not getting hit by stuff that just happens to be in the way. Well, there's an MIA right there, and I accidentally shot it. That's pretty messed up. The game really, the game auto-aims, so I can't really control it that much. I can point the aircraft in a favorable direction. I was trying to shoot the bad guy. One good thing about the SA-7 guy is he kind of moves like he's a freaking rotating turret. He doesn't move like really fast like a man, which is good because he does a lot of damage, which he should. SA-7s are not the kind of weapons you want to mess with. All right, so took down the guard tower. How close are we? Oh, we're pretty close. All right, this AAA piece. Double Hydra real quick. There's, all right. AAA piece right there, and there's a Rapier. You can stay out of range of the Rapier, though. Got no props. I'm just going to take out a AAA piece. I don't want to deal with them. All right, good. He only takes a couple of Hydras, which isn't exactly a large outlay. Man, this thing takes a lot of peppers. Well, it's a command center, so it makes sense that it would be armored. Alright, and then we got this dude running out. It's kind of a funny flag. Almost looks like Poland's flag. Alright, cool. Destroyed a Rapier. Okay, the commander gave us the location of our lost agent. Sweet. Alright, so we got 330 armor and about a half tank of fuel. Let's see, where's the closest fuel drum? I want to make sure that we're not going to... Okay, it's not too far off. I think it's being guarded by like an SA-7 dude, if I remember correctly, which is no good, but these guard towers are a pain in the ass to hit, too. They take a lot to take down, and then you're hitting them with your frickin' Hydras, but your Hydras like fire out of each wing. So as soon as they fire out of each wing, they're automatically going to be canted off to the side a bit, which a lot of times makes it so they don't hit what you want them to hit. Missiles again. Alright, we'll just use one here. I don't want this to take too long because I don't have that much fuel left. And then we get another POW. Well, that's a POW that we took. He's our POW now. Alright, so there is a fuel barrel right here. But unfortunately, you've got dude in a tower. You got Mr. Oh, and I fucking blew up. Alright, so I blew up the fuel drum. So nearest one is over here. I'm not going to bother with trying to do anything over there because the command tower means nothing to me. Cool. It's just right here. Okay. How many people do I got? I got 3 in the hopper. So I can go ahead and... yeah, I've only got 1 mission left, and that's to save that secret agent. So we'll go back to the LZ, hopefully without getting hit. We got 3 loaded up right now. You gotta watch out for these mountains here. They're not on the map, so you can be going like full bore and just ram right into them, which will suck if you ram right into them. Of course, you're going to get hurt, and then in addition to getting hurt, you're going to lose. You also, kind of lose your forward momentum too. So if some dude decides, if there's a AAA around there, or if it's a Ray Pierre, you're gonna take some lumps, and you could get shot down. Which so far I haven't lost any lives, which is good because this is the first mission. It's not supposed to be overly difficult. The other missions get a little bit tougher. But I think this game does a very good job of pulling all this stuff off. The only thing, like I said, I would complain about is the fact that I do not have. Oh crap! I need some weapons. I got like nothing for weapons. I'm gonna need it because they're not just gonna let me. Fuel drums, ammo crates. Okay, there's one on the way. They're not just gonna let me walk in there. How many missiles do I have? I have 5 missiles. I got no hydras. Okay, that's bad because hydras are exactly what I like to use against AAA pieces. All right, I've only got 1 mission left. Full tank of gas. Let's take out these tents. Which the tents blow up for one reason. Oh, there it is right there. Let's take out Mr. AK. So the cojones on those guys are crazy. The fact that they got an AK and they're willing to take on an Apache. I think that's pretty brave. It's not too bright, but it's pretty brave. So I'll give these guys some credit here. All right, so we're getting real. Whoa! I do not want to be taking frickin' going toe to toe with you. All right, good deal. All right, so fuel's at 66. It's not so bad. Okay, so there's got to be somewhere in here. Got Mr. Sam here. Mr. Man-Pads. Oh, crap. How much armor do I have? Not bad. Okay, so we're pretty good on armor. We're definitely good on weapons. We just refill. So, alright, there we go. That's where we want to go. We jump down here. We get a nice little cutscene. Graphics are real nice here. The door hatch looks kind of crappy, but the sand and the setting sun and the helicopter coming down looks pretty awesome. I mean, especially for this era, because, the graphics, this is a 16-bit game. It's not like we're playing, like, frickin' super-duper game here. And then, yeah, you actually have to do it anyway, and crap on a crutch. You got to worry about these mobile AAA coming to like just ruin your good time, okay? And they're gonna jump into the screen here, and they have like a ridiculously high rate of fire. Oh crap! One thing the advantage you have over just about everything is that you can swing around on them. You can very quickly come around before they can turn their turrets. So you've got like a speed advantage. But of course you have a limited field of vision to the point where crap, I should have just used a missile. I was being stingy because I just hydra'd him. Alright, there we go. There we go, got him. Alright, here's my boys. So if I could just get them without getting killed, it's pretty much the end of the mission. Alright, back to the LZ and that'll be the end. Now, if I wanted to, I could pretty much just go around and blow everything up. Yeah, here we go. He's running out here. Even though he's wearing black and the thing he's wearing green in the cutscene, you see he's got kind of a shake hat there. I don't know if that's to imply that he's the inside man, like he's a dude in this actual military that we're fighting against, and that he turned sides for us, or. And I can just return to the troop ship here. Or if he's just a dude who went undercover, like he's an American citizen, maybe of that ethnicity. I have no idea. It didn't really state. I don't think it really needs to state. I think I'm looking at this way too deeply. I'm pretty sure a 12-year-old kid who was playing this would not be like, wow, what are the geopolitical impacts of this? All right, so now it's going to tally up our score. First, the good news. Tents, secret agent, SAM launchers, radar sites, power station, troops rescued. F-15 technology protected. I thought that was pretty cool. Man to center. Yeah. Now the bad news. Okay, enemy troops escaped. Oh wow, it didn't give me The Madman's... Okay, so here's the story's going to move along here. In the Madman's secret bunker. He's pissed. Our motherland's under siege, but you said we were prepared for anything. But apparently not for one helicopter. I like his uniform there. He's got like 5 stars on his head. Sir, the attack force is stronger than we thought. What do you mean? I'm one helicopter. That's pretty stupid. Perhaps we should let the Scuds do the talking. Now this is like vintage right here. Early 90s Middle Eastern stuff. I'll give the orders to the Scud launchers at once. Alright. In the Gulf. So let's go ahead and just stop it here. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And we'll go ahead and check out part 2 in just a minute here. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.